Um, I wanted to make this video just because, I'm walking through a graveyard and I'm kind of like at a very stalemate point, very limbo point, stagnant, where I'm not really moving forward or moving backward. I'm kind of staying in the same position. And when I got back from America, I felt very, very motivated, but the motivation's kind of gone away, and so now I just feel very stagnant. I'm kind of making this video because I was just walking through a cemetery in this park, and it really made me realize that a lot of these people I'm seeing, it's an older cemetery. They live to be like 30, maybe 40 if they were lucky. Some made it to 60, but not many. And it's just, it really puts things in perspective. Like, I mean, I have the time to be stagnant, but is this really what I want to spend my time doing? So it's kind of been like a bit of a wake-up call for me, just to focus on just what really matters. And right now, it may just be the euphoria from coming back from the American trip, but right now I think traveling is the number one agenda, especially places like Bali or a lot of the islands, Fiji, and back to America, of course. I really want to not just go on those trips, but also document them like I'm doing now. And in a few months, I should be documenting maybe a trip I'm taking. The big issue is usually money, which is usually the issue for most people. But I think I've got some plans. My main plan is to start doing mowing people's lawns and doing yard work for them, because that's what my general skill set is. And I'm gonna try to save up enough money to go on a trip. But don't wait, because you never know when your life's gonna finish off, when it's gonna come to an end. You never know. And you gotta live like it, because I feel like in society today there's so many things that can numb you down, like scrolling. It kind of makes you feel like you have forever, but in perspective you really don't. And you shouldn't numb yourself down just to make the time pass faster. It's kind of like you want to speed up in between and only live the significant moments of your life. But it's kind of corny to say, but I feel like those significant moments are only special because you have such a long time in insignificance and not as important moment, like boredom. So I think numbing yourself with social media and all this dopamine stuff isn't good. And I think that you should focus on that you could die at any point. So obviously live with no regrets, because there's no point in having regrets, because you can't go back in the past and change stuff. More like lessons. That's just from my perspective. But yeah, live your life. That's kind of my take. Live your life, enjoy it. I don't know really what I'm saying at this point, but yeah. So soon I will be documenting my travels, which will be awesome. And I'm not gonna numb myself down anymore by scrolling or watching YouTube all the time. I'm gonna take the steps I need to take to get to where I want to go and traveling that. But I'm also going to embrace the boredom and the numbness and just enjoying where I am. A little bit of a little bit of wisdom, I guess, because I find probably my biggest strength is perception and perspective. Not perception, perspective, because I don't know, I think it just comes from traveling a good bit and just from focusing on self-improvement for a long time. And the only thing that could stop me from getting from where I want to go is numbing down that perspective and not having time to process and think about what's going on. So this is kind of like a commitment to stay off everything that numbs me down. Yeah. All right. Well, I guess I could show my dog. Oh, oopsies. Yeah. This is my dog. I think that's the end of the video. Live your life. Live every day like it could be your last, because it genuinely could. Nobody thinks it's going to happen to them until it does. Yeah. And the end of the video.